All right, welcome back to Beyond the Athlete. I'm this week joined by Drew Niklason. Drew, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Drew Niklason. As Jack said, I'm a junior here at Marymount University, majoring in communications media. I am a lacrosse coach for True Lacrosse and Trinity School at Meadowview, and I am an affiliate with the men's lacrosse team here.
So, what initially started your journey in lacrosse?
Well, I grew up in a lacrosse family. My older brother, he played lacrosse at Jacksonville University, a D1 school down in Florida. But ever since I was born, I can remember kind of having a stick in my hand. I remember when I was really little, I was in my crib and I would cry a lot at night like babies do, but I was doing it more so than normal babies, right? And it turned out there was this picture in my room, and when you looked at it a weird way, as in the dark, it kind of looked scary to me. So my parents decided to take it down and replace it with a fiddlestick lacrosse stick. You know, like the little
Yeah, no, I
toddler-sized
know.
lacrosse
I
stick. Yeah,
remember.
yeah. So you know,
No, I grew up in a
and
lax household as well. My dad coached, my brother played.
oh, right on. Okay, yeah. So you know the vibe. But anyway, I start crying again one night, and my dad goes down there. It's pitch black. He's searching around. Mind you, I'm like 2 years old. He's searching around, and then all of a sudden, whack! I had stood myself up in the crib, grabbed the lacrosse stick from the wall, and hit my dad over the head with it. And that's kind of where my lacrosse journey began, to be honest.
And now it's taking you here to Marymount.
Yes, it has.
Although that's not initially where you started out. You're actually a transfer student, isn't that correct?
That's correct. Last year, actually, I transferred from Christopher Newport University down in Newport News, Virginia. So I was actually a mid-season transfer, which was pretty difficult to adjust to, if you can imagine. I kind of missed all of fall ball, so it felt a little bit behind transferring in. But I love my teammates, and they made me feel very welcomed. And so it was a pretty easy adjustment after a while. But it was definitely intimidating transferring in mid-season.
Is there anyone that stands out that maybe took you under their wing particularly?
Yeah, definitely the seniors this year, like Tim, Luke, that's Tim Rossler and Luke Mazer. Shout out to those guys. And then Hunter Ralston, who graduated last year, number 6 on the lacrosse team. We were travel roommates, and he's a pretty funny guy. And so he kind of took me under his wing, and we became really close after rooming together. So those are the ones that kind of I think of when I think of the people who welcomed me into this program.
So what drew your eye to Marymount particularly?
So I'm actually from Falls Church, Virginia, which is just about 10 minutes away from here. I went to Trinity School at Meadowview. But when I was playing there, Coach Reynolds actually recruited me in high school, initially my junior year and into my senior year. So I was looking at Marymount a little bit. But as you know, I ended up choosing Christopher Newport. But things didn't work out necessarily over there. So I kind of reached out to Coach Reynolds, and I was like, hey man, I really miss playing college lacrosse, or I had never played college lacrosse, but I always wanted to, and I wasn't doing that at Christopher Newport. So I said, I would love to play college lacrosse. Would you take me back at Marymount? He was like, heck yeah, of course, you can come back. We would love to have you. He said he never gives up on players that he's recruiting. So he ended up taking me under his wing and bringing me back here to Marymount. So
Now, obviously, as unfortunate as it is, you're not quite on the team. What's your title now?
yeah, so I'm I guess you could say team manager / media man for the lacrosse team. So a little backstory behind that is I've had 6 concussions. So I got my 6th one over the fall season, and my doctors and my family, they said I should probably hang up the cleats because it's not worth getting another concussion for. So I decided I still want to help out the team. So I'm helping out as a manager, kind of a manager, and then I'm doing some media work on the side as well.
So it's worked out pretty well because, well, I know you're a communications major, correct?
I am a communications major.
How do
That is
those skills
correct.
carry across?
Well, I do. I really want to get into like video broadcasting, sports media, all of that. So it does. It fits in perfectly. I love kind of cutting up film, doing videography, making highlight tapes. And that's kind of something I want to do later on in the future. So it's great to kind of have this opportunity to blend in with my communications focus.
And are there any classes that you've taken that have also helped out in that?
Yeah, well, a few that I'm taking this semester. So I'm taking a video production class, and then I'm taking a communication and sport class with Tim Bainton, who I think you're familiar with.
Yeah, he's gotten a shout out in all 3 episodes. I feel like he's getting a little too much love.
Shout out, Tim. Congratulations on being featured on the podcast 3 different times. So, but that class is really interesting, and I hope that will kind of tie into what I'm doing with the lacrosse team. And then I'm also doing writing for digital media, which could also fit in as well. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for sure.
So what would you say the expectations are for the team going into the season?
We got some high expectations, I would say. We did lose a decent amount of scoring production from last year. You know, you lose Clark Akers, who has had a historic career at Marymount. You lose Hunter Ralston, you lose Troy, you lose a few other players, but not to bash them or anything. They were a little selfish, you know. But the way our offense works is it's a very unselfish offense, and we have a lot of very talented people on offense this year, and they're very unselfish. So I've been out at the practices, and the ball movement, you know, them whipping it around, their 2-man games that they do in the pairs offense is going to be really effective. So we have a very strong offense, and on defense, you know, we got Evan Mata, Mike Olahars, Jake Schwartzman, players like that. And then in goal, we got, well, we don't know who's going to be starter yet, but I think, well, that's classified. I actually can't say anything on that, but I think we're gonna have. I can't. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you, Matthew Davis is looking pretty good. He's looking pretty good in goal. And shout out Jacob Brooks too.
All right.
See you.
Well, it certainly should be interesting, and obviously you all play out at Longbridge.
Yes, we do. It's it's about 20 minutes off campus. It's a beautiful field. I think it's one of my favorite fields that I've ever played on. It's cool because you can see the Washington Monument from there, and you see the airplanes going by, which is a huge home field advantage, you know, when another team is in their huddle. Then all of a sudden we got a plane leaving Reagan National Airport, and yeah, it's a pretty cool place to play lacrosse.
Yeah, of course, it's literally right across the street basically from National Airport.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly.
I've noticed a few times, you know, at certain sporting events, you'll have another team trying to talk, and then all of a sudden you get this plane and they have no idea what's going on, and they're all thrown out of their rhythm. Exactly.
If you're not used to it, it'll throw you off. That's for sure. Some people don't like playing down there, but I love it. I think it's a great location. One of the best places to play college lacrosse, in my opinion.
So what's your plans post-graduation, do you think, so far? Obviously, don't have it all planned away yet, but...
Yeah, you know, I mean, like the concussions, anything can happen. But so I definitely want to do something with coaching, especially because I'm doing that now, and I'm kind of involved with True Lacrosse, which is a big national program, and they have different state teams as well. So for example, I'm coaching with True Virginia because I'm in Virginia. But I have a job possibly lined up with them after I graduate, working as a coach and administrative side of things. But later down the line, I really think I want to teach and coach at the high school level. My dad did that he's almost done it for 50 years now. He taught and coached at Bishop O'Connell, Flint Hill, and then Trinity at Meadowview. And it seems like a pretty rewarding lifestyle. You know, you don't make too much money, but seeing the amount of people that he's affected with teaching and coaching, you know, we'll be like all the way across the country and we'll be walking and somebody will be like, Mr. Niklason, is that you? And like so many people know him because of the influence he's had. So that's really inspired me to maybe pursue teaching and coaching career as well.
And so what initially got you that opportunity to start coaching?
So my dad, actually, he was the head coach at Trinity School at Meadowview, where I played lacrosse. And growing up, he would run these lacrosse camps over the summer. And eventually I took over the running of the lacrosse camps. And so I got a little bit of coaching experience under my belt. And then I ended up coaching with Nova Select because I knew the director there who started the program. And then True Lacrosse, about 2 years ago, bought Nova Select, and so they hired me to help coach with True Lacrosse as well. And then just playing at Trinity, they offered me the offensive coordinator job this coming spring. So I'm pretty excited about that. Get to coach at the old alma mater. So
Yeah, that sounds like a heck of a lot of fun. And of course, starting out in high school, I mean, who knows where that could take you?
yeah, exactly. I mean, everyone's got to start somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
Like this podcast right here. Yeah,
Look where we're
getting
now.
your start
Exactly.
right here. Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're building something here. Keep an eye on it.
Yeah. Shout out Trinity School at Meadowview. Great school. Great school.
So how do you describe your coaching philosophy?
Well, my coaching philosophy is kind of based on how I used to play. So when I played, I was very free in what I did. I loved going in the backyard and practicing between the leg shots, behind the back shots, all that kind of stuff. And some coaches, they want you to stick by the rule book. You don't really do anything outside of the norm of just normal passes, normal shots. But I love to encourage creativity. So that's one thing, especially with the young guys, the young kids starting out, is I'll let them do like behind the back passes, between the leg shots, because normally it's something that people discourage and they don't want you to do that. But I think it's important, and it definitely added to my game. So I love to see it added to theirs as well.
And so how do you, looking back on your high school career, how would you describe that?
Short. I would describe it as very short. So I technically only played about 2.5 years of high school ball. So I played 9th grade, and then my sophomore year, I was having a really good season. I was 7 games into the season with about 40 points. And then I ended up getting blindsided in this tournament that we played in. And it was against this team. I'm not going to drop the name of the team, but they weren't very good. And the plan was for me to go in the first, quarter, and then we would rest for the next game afterwards. So we're in there in the first quarter. I go to throw a pass. My eyes are where I'm passing the ball. And then out of nowhere, some guy comes up, clocks me in the head, and next thing I know, I'm being backboarded off of the field. I got taken in an ambulance, had to stay the night in the hospital, and my whole season ended with that. So only 7 games into the season, and it was going to be a pretty good season. It got cut short. And then senior year, COVID happened. So we had like a week of practices, I think. And then we ended up going to Myrtle Beach as a team. It was super fun, team bonding. We played against North Myrtle Beach High School and one other team in Carolina. But we came back. We were so pumped. Season's about to start. And then COVID happens, and we don't even get to play a game. So no senior year, and half of my sophomore year was taken up. I also got a concussion on the last game of my junior year as well. So, plagued by misfortunes, but we made it work out. So
Yeah, I'd say it's worked out pretty well.
Yep, absolutely.
Now, when you're editing highlights or whatnot, what are you looking for most? Do you just try to show the goals, the assists, or are you more of the, minute and a half highlight play for one goal?
So I love the details in the highlight videos. I like the intro to me is very important. So you can't just, jump in with the goals and the shots. You need like the close zoom in on the helmet, a little cleat check, something like that, little pan out. And then you do a very short but precise highlight video. So, you try to fit as many cool plays, shots, assists in there as possible in the span of 1 minute to 1.5 minutes max. Because you think about it, you're scrolling through Instagram and you see a highlight video, and how long are you actually going to watch the highlight video? A lot of people, they'll watch the first little bit of it, scroll down, so you got to keep people engaged the whole time. So 1 minute to 1.5 minutes is probably what I aim for the most part.
And what's your favorite background music to throw on a highlight reel?
Whew, man, that's really difficult. You see, right now I'm a little, I don't have the best camera equipment. Any donors, if you want to donate a nice camera to the lacrosse team, right here.
I'd say 20% cut.
Yeah. But I I was just lost where we were going. What was the question?
What's your go-to
Go-to
background track?
music. Yeah. So about the camera equipment, right? If it's not the highest quality, then I can't put exactly the music that I want. You maybe do some classic rock music or something like that over the video content. But I mean, go-to is, you throw in maybe a little Pop Smoke, a little hip hop, throw it in there. Clean versions, of course, because we can't have that. So, yeah, something along those lines is what I aim for.
All right. And what are you looking forward to most in this upcoming season? It can either be something school related or something lacrosse related or something in your personal life.
I'm kind of excited for just how everything that I'm doing right now is going to mesh together. So a lot of the classes I'm taking right now, the ones that I mentioned earlier in the podcast, they kind of fit in with what I'm doing on the lacrosse side of things. And it's also something that I can bring into the coaching side of things, especially if I end up doing administrative stuff with True Lacrosse. So I'm really looking forward to how all these different things that I'm doing are hopefully going to mesh together and work out and help me advance in my future. But definitely I'm also excited to see how our men's lacrosse team does this season. Obviously we came off a tough loss in the conference championship to Cabrini last season, but hopefully with the offense and defense that we have now and team as a whole, also shout out Cam Glass and Ben Cooper at the Face-Off X. I think we're going to have a very solid season and we're going to have a chance to possibly make the NCAA tournament. So I look forward to seeing all of that come together. And Coach Brigham's offense, shout out to him as well.
Well, that would certainly be something to see. Very exciting, of course. If you want to ever watch the men's lacrosse team at home, Longbridge Park.
That's right. Be there. I'll be updating on every game on the Instagram, so check your Instagram feed.
Now, how important is it to have that home crowd at a home event, to have that crowd roaring for you whenever the ball goes in the back of the net?
It's vital. It is vital to our success. I mean, it's just the atmosphere there it's pretty great. But when you add on the factor of having a huge crowd there, if we did a whiteout or a blackout or something like that, it just adds a whole other edge to our game. And I know the guys on the team, they love it. They would love to see more of it. And so if you guys could come out, we would really appreciate that. And I think that would definitely help our lacrosse program.
So what I'm hearing is if we don't win the championship this year, it's because
it's on you.
You didn't show up.
It's on you. Yeah.
Not your friends. Your friends were busy. They had homework. You didn't show up though. It's your fault.
But bring your friends too.
Yeah, bring them all.
Everyone.
We gotta have that white out. Gotta have that blue out.
Oh, Hawaiian out. Who knows?
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell.
And as the director of the Instagram, maybe you could pave the way on that.
You know what? I'm trying, Jack. I'm trying.
Well, that's all we can ask.
That's all we can ask.
Thank you so much for taking the time with us, Drew. It's been a pleasure talking with you. Let the people know where they can find you.
Thank you. It's good to It's been a pleasure being on here, so I appreciate it.
And of course, so follow the Marymount Men's Lacrosse Instagram page. Keep an eye on where he might be, obviously, at any home lacrosse game. I'm sure you can pick him out of a crowd.
Yep.
And that'll do it here.
Go Saints.